What is up? Welcome to week 5 of Saturday College Pick'em Show. I'm your host, Dustin Hall. We have
Logan,
Will,
Preston,
holding it down, getting it ready for some more picks. Looking forward to an awesome weekend of college football. Pretty good weekend with our picks. I want to go ahead and quickly go over our updates on where we're at so far. So here's our record. We have a new leader.
hey,
Boom. There he is. The Logan Randall at 17-7. And then me and Will holding it down at 16-8.
that silly Kentucky
And-
Vanderbilt pick.
We got new dumpster fire of the week.
listen, making a comeback though, making a comeback.
Preston.
I'm 2 games down.
Hey, Michael
Listen.
Smith.
We're all right. We're all
Had a
right.
good week, man. You had a good
We
week.
had a great week.
Yeah,
We had a great
absolutely.
week.
All right, guys. Hey, let us know you're live. Send us a chat. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Sorry we had some technical difficulties to get to us a late start, but thanks so much for hanging in there with us. All right, we got some love for Logan here from a certain someone. All hail the king. Very nice. Very nice. Enjoy it while it lasts, man. All right.
It's a long season. It's a long
It is a long season, and this year is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
Don't
to
know
make some
what to
picks
do
that don't go with
next.
my heart. That's all I have to do. So.
Yeah. The heart is definitely deceitfully wicked. Just don't ever do it, especially when you're playing Georgia. So, lesson learned hard way. But man, so glad you guys tuned in. Let's go ahead. We're going to jump from going over our reviews. We're going to jump into our rapid fire picks here. So I'll show you guys what our rapid fire picks of the week are. We got number 10 Utah versus number 19 Oregon State. We got Clemson versus Syracuse, as well as number 8 USC versus Colorado. So let's just jump right into these rapid fire picks. Not a lot of feedback. Let's start with Preston. First game.
All right, I'm gonna go Utah over Oregon State. I'll never go with Oregon State again. That burned me last weekend. DJ let me down. I had a lot of confidence in you. I wanted to believe that Clemson did you wrong, but doesn't look like it. So Utah all the way. They beat Florida this year. Florida is pretty good, I mean, as far as we can tell. So I'm gonna go with Utah.
Respect. All right, Wilbur.
Utah's looked great all season. I don't think there's a reason to go against them. And Oregon State's dead to me after last week. We'll never pick them again.
Good.
So I'm going Utah this week.
All right, Utah for me.
Utah, easy pick. Florida win definitely looks a lot better now. Utah for sure.
Good. All right, Clemson, Syracuse. Preston.
Clemson.
Okay.
They have to win.
Clemson.
The big orange of Clemson will win this ball game.
Yeah. Syracuse is a dangerous team against Clemson. It's one you can't always count out, but Clemson for sure.
Yeah, this is true. All right, and our last rapid pick of the week. A big matchup out west. We don't care about out west. Number 8 USC versus Colorado. There's something coming up that you guys are going to be so excited about. But number 8 USC versus Colorado. Logan.
University of Southern California.
Okay, University of Southern California for me as well.
Yeah, I'm going University of Southern California. Goodness gracious, I can't talk.
Cauliflower.
Guys, I think for me, I'm gonna have to go in a different direction.
Whoa.
I'm gonna have to pick University of Southern California.
Oh. Yeah, keep rolling.
Roll the boat. Roll the boat.
We're on the boat here. All right. Hey, some exciting news this week as we dive into our regular picks of the week. Tonight, we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And this week, we are live on Twitter. So look us up on Twitter.
Technically, X. It's X
Oh,
now.
so sorry. So sorry. Messed up that whole plug.
So.
We're on X, whatever that's all about. So find us there. We're live there on Twitter. Next week, we might be adding Instagram. So stay tuned. Try to get the platform in many places as possible. Let us know where you're tuned in tonight. We got Tyler McNulty with a comment. Let's see. Ready for some great picks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Much love. Much love.
Daddy duty over there. Appreciate you, man. All right, we got Jackson Wyndham tuning in. Otto the Orange is in for a whooping. Tigers by 180.
You had
Wow.
a good week last week. Let's not go crazy.
Wow. Wow.
Syracuse.
I'm impressed that they knew the Orange's name, though.
That
was
orange,
impressive.
man. That's very orange.
I guess when you get an easy game like that every year, you probably
Easy,
might not.
easy. Listen, we are guilty of the same thing. Okay. We don't take advantage of this thing.
Right, Syracuse.
Oh, it's at Syracuse.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that concludes that part of our talk.
Brother, don't.
We're gonna jump right into dumpster fire of the week.
My bad.
Absolutely. Good.
I was anticipating.
It's all
I
good.
was excited.
Jumping into it.
Excited.
Dumpster fire of the week. Here, oh, I clicked it. You clicked it.
We're good. We're good.
Dumpster fire of the week. All right. Dumpster fire of the week is brought to you by no one because we're not sponsored yet. So, want to make a plug. Looking for a sponsor. Want to see somebody give me a sponsor. I'm shouting out May Landscaping, Brandy Ledford, anybody else with any commercial business. We will take your money for sure. We love it. What? Oh, there you go. All right. Now, this segment is brought to you by Will Bryant. So, Will, what is the dumpster fire of the week?
Well, there was a lot of options from last week. You know, we could have gone Carolina's secondary.
Yeah.
Was absolute garbage last week. A lot of not great things, but the biggest one that stood out for me last week was Colorado.
Oof.
I think it was obvious they looked pretty bad in all facets of the game last week. They couldn't move the ball on offense. They were getting shredded on the defensive side of the ball, running and passing. And the special teams wasn't very special. So, I mean, Dion said it in his press conference. I don't think they're as bad as everybody thinks after that last week. I don't think they're a great team like everybody's hyped them up to be. But Oregon's a really good team, so give them their credit. But Colorado's the dumpster fire of the week this week.
Very nice. All right. Well, did Will get it right? Was he the right dumpster fire of the week? Let us know in the comment section. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right. This week, we not only have one guest picker, we have two guest pickers. So growing some momentum here. Appreciate those who are coming. I'm not going to ruin the surprise, but you're going to look forward to hearing some awesome picks here tonight. So let's jump into our normal picks of the week. We got number 1, Georgia, taking on the Auburn War Eagle Tigers.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Freeze.
Freeze them out.
That's right.
Freeze them out.
LU alumni. Let's go.
Good. All right. So with this game, we have a overlay that we have to put on the screen. Got to. Here's what's awesome. This is a rivalry game. Anything can happen in a rivalry week. I think Georgia's running in. Obviously, the favorite is 14.5 here. It's at Auburn though.
Yeah,
what time's the game?
It is at
3:30.
Ooh, 3:30.
Prime time.
CBS. Wow. Way to close it out here, baby. Copyright infringement. Yeah.
No, I say it. I mean, it's not the little thing. So.
No, here's what's awesome. I think Georgia's coming in strong. Auburn, they're chippy. They're, they do play physical football. We'll see what happens in this game. Let's start with Logan. What's your thoughts on this game?
Like you said, it's a big rivalry game that's been going on forever. We might not see it for a little while after next season. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But Auburn hasn't been looking good so great this year. Sure, they're 3-1, but I mean, 3 of those wins are against UMass, Cal, and Samford, and then a loss against Texas A&M. I just don't think, by 17 points. So I just don't see that they have a lot. Their quarterback has less than 600 yards and already has 3 interceptions to his 4 touchdowns. That's not a good ratio to have this early into the season. Carson Beck's starting to shape out to a decent quarterback that can lead Georgia. So I'm thinking Georgia they'll cover 14.
Nice. That's so Spencer Rattler 2022, like that kind of stat line. So, Wilbur.
Yeah, Georgia got an 82% chance to win this game according to ESPN. Line's at 14. I haven't been very impressed with Auburn this year. They've done well enough to get 3 wins. They haven't played really anybody. I mean, Cal, if you count them, but I mean, you never really know what you're going to get with Cal. And but they didn't look good against Texas A&M last week. I don't see a lot of positives with them. I don't have anything bad to say about Auburn. But Georgia, I think, starting to come into form. Carson Beck's starting to get a little bit of confidence. They got their best running back back against South Carolina. He ran pretty well. He's starting to get his legs underneath him. And the defense is starting to come together a little bit more, be a little bit more not even bend, but just don't break.
Right.
So,
Right.
so they're looking good. I think there'll be a surprise loss for them in the season here, but I don't think it's going to be this week. I'm going to take Georgia.
Good pick. Preston.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't have much to say about this pick. Auburn lost to Texas A&M, which is half the team that Georgia is.
Yeah.
I mean, 27-10. It is at Auburn. I do like Hugh Freeze. I do like, he took a Liberty University program and made it one of the top, in the country. They were top 25 at one point when Malik Willis at quarterback. But I just don't think he's had enough time to really build that program up. I think in years to come he will be better and he'll have a better Auburn program, kind of back in the good old days. But I think Georgia's too much for him right now. If you can't handle A&M, you're not going to handle Georgia. So
Sure.
enough said.
Yeah, I think Auburn's looking for that X factor, but Georgia's just that complete team. So I'm going to take Georgia in this game as well. Interesting comment in the comment section here. Tyler McNulty, Georgia is so overrated this year. Do we think Georgia is overrated?
A little bit. They haven't played anybody. I mean, they played Carolina. We put up solid first half, 14-3. At halftime. They came out and whooped us in the second half because they have the depth. We didn't have the depth. We didn't have the play call in the second half.
We got a bad case of the dropsies.
Yeah,
That hurts.
It's just when you lose Juice Wells too, the momentum you saw it shifting immediately when he went out the game. So, I mean, I don't know. College football is so weird this year because there's not one team that's like, man, they're the team. Ohio State should have lost last weekend. I'm not a true believer in Michigan, even though I think they might be the closest second to Georgia. There's just not one team I think will be the team. So I really think it's up in the air. I don't think there's one team that stands out the most.
Yeah. Hey, do me a favor in the comment section. Give me your team that's the team to beat. If it's Georgia, write down Georgia. If you think are the Noles back? Are the Noles back? I mean, they had a hard fought battle against Clemson. And they won. Crazy pick last week. Thanks so much. We had Zach come on. I almost called the game. I mean, if the guy would have went down there and kicked a field goal, he would have nailed it.
Zach Colley, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Josh Major, we got a shout for Ohio State. Okay. All right. Respect. I see you, big dog. All right. Ohio State. Ohio
State's good.
They're good.
Yeah,
They're good.
They're good. They should have lost that game last week. Let's be honest. I mean, Notre Dame lost that game. They had 10 men on the field the last 2 plays of the game. Did you see that?
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Well, South Carolina has 12 guys on the field. Doesn't do a whole lot for us. Look at that. Tyler McNulty. The Noles are back.
They almost lost.
Yeah.
They should have lost. If
They
that
had
guy
every
would have missed a
opportunity.
field goal, that was a ball game right there.
Yeah.
But, credit to Florida
Chip in.
State.
That's it.
That's right.
Can't help it. All right. So moving on. Next game, we got USC. Nope, just kidding. We got the Florida Gators taking on. I know you good. You good. You good boy. All right, we got the number 22 Florida Gators taking on the Kentucky Wildcats with probably the most extreme home advantage in college football, right? No. Probably the one of the weakest home stadiums in the whole country, other than Vandy, which Will picked last week. I don't know.
You mean do the intro for this one?
Yeah, you got it.
All right, so for our first guest picker, this guy, he's like a brother to me. He played semi-pro basketball for the Jacksonville Giants. His name is Zach Schenk. He's an athletic director. Was up in, I think the school was Nice's up in North Carolina. Now he's at Eagles U, a school that's close to my heart. He's the AD there. Great guy. Ton of experience in the coaching realm, and he coached basketball, and I think he coached golf too, and a couple other sports. And now he's the AD for Eagles U Academy, and doing great things down there. So big shout out to him, and thank you for coming on, and we'll bring him on now.
All right. Zach, what is up, dude?
What's up, guys?
Anything but a dumpster fire. Wow. Something linger.
You know, really, I'm just hanging out here with my boy Ricky Pearsall on his phenomenal catch from last week.
Oh man, we got a highlight of the week.
So, I wanted to make sure that it didn't go untouched here and make sure that the credit is given. After the hurtful words of a dumpster fire were used, I believe. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, anyway, excited to be on with you guys. Yeah. Excited to be on here, talk about some Florida football, and I think you guys talk about ACC football a little too much. So I would like to see that dialed back a little bit for these Florida State fans. It's just ridiculous.
Listen, it's until it goes away. The story continues. Florida State's on this crazy run, and we're going to keep following, but. We have a huge base in Clemson. We have a huge base in Florida State, but yeah, we're definitely more than SEC. So. Echo. Better. Yeah, cool. All right, moving right along. Zach, how far is the Florida team going to go this year?
That's a great question. Look, I'm just happy to be in the top 25 right now, so I'm not gonna really harp on where are we gonna get to. We know where we're not gonna get to, but hey, we're in the top 25. Let's take it. Let's continue to kind of climb this step by step here, this mountain, and see what we can get to. I think our schedule is decent. I think we've got some opportunities here to make some moves, and right now, like Preston said, with college football, everything it's so wishy-washy from weekend to weekend, right? We don't know who is who. We don't know who's going to take over, who's not going to take over. I mean, right now, Alabama's sitting at number 12. I mean, I feel like that says a lot. But interesting to see. I agree with what a lot of you guys said. I think Ohio State they're a good team. I don't know that they're there. I don't just know that they deserve to be there. And God, I just hope Florida State just doesn't make it there. So, but Florida. Yeah, I mean, like I said, happy to be in the top 25 right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's nice. I don't know what it's like. It's been a while for us. I'm hoping we're going to get some momentum after some good games come along, but it starts this week. Y'all have a big answer to Kentucky. This could be easily one of those things that we tripped up before. I think y'all had some opportunity to trip over the Kentucky game. Kentucky likes to run the ball. I mean, that's their bread and butter. That's who they are. What's the over-under here?
Wilbur. Over-under is 45.
They got Kentucky by 1.
They got Kentucky by 1.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, what are we basing that off of? History / their 4-0 record right now, but they've played who? I mean, Akron, Ball, State. Yeah. I mean, who are they playing right now?
No, you're right.
It's not a. I just think right now, if we're looking at everything on paper, I think it's skewed a little bit. I think Florida has proven. The Utah game was ugly, but I think coming back with the Tennessee win was just huge. And I think if we can continue to play that way and build off that momentum, I could see us potentially breaking the top 20 this week. And who knows? I know it's a big thing to say, but I think it'd be something that can happen. And we keep pushing forward. But yeah, to have Kentucky, leading that right now, I was looking at the ESPN stuff earlier. I just don't see it happening. So I'd be interested to know what they're basing that off of.
Absolutely. I think things because of Mizzou. They had the SEC short video where Mizzou made a playoff video. It was really funny. You gotta check it out. But let's start with our picks and we'll come back to Zach. Get his pick on this game. Logan, softball.
Yeah, definitely on this one. Kentucky is 4-0, but they haven't played anybody. Their biggest opponent, toughest opponent so far has probably been Vanderbilt. We all Vanderbilt is not the team to take in any situation. Florida shows that they are starting to get together, especially against Tennessee. Mertz and Trevor, he's really good running back against Jacksonville. For those who don't know, I think they're going to take this one pretty easily. Keep Martin towards the top 25. Good. Lord.
I'm kind of still undecided on this game right now. Kentucky hasn't played anybody, and I don't really trust them. Florida had a good win last week, so we're encouraged to. I still trust them, I'm already going to take a risk later in the show. So, as much as it pains me to do it, I'm going to take Florida. I'll probably buy field this week. Wow. Very close. Yeah. Wow. All right, Preston.
I don't believe in Kentucky. I don't think they have quite the team. I don't want the quarterback. Leary, it's ACC school. Pretty sure Carolina won the ball. Was it last 2 years ago? He's passing yards. Yeah, I saw the stat the other day where it's kind of like the Joe Burrow effect. Joe Burrow came to LSU, had an okay first year. Wasn't great first year. They kind of compare very much to that. He has to develop the system, and then eventually he'll turn out, pretty well. He has a lot of attributes. Very smart, very poised, very calm. So I like Graham versus this matchup. I like ETN. I don't like Kentucky. Sorry, man. I don't like Kentucky at all. So, I mean, I can't roll with Kentucky. That blue is under my color wheel. And sticking with the orange and blue from Florida. So, there you go. Leary, 5 interceptions. That's not great. Especially when you're going sounds like an ACC quarterback. Right. Here's the thing you don't want to do it for. Give them a turn because they will capitalize on it. Florida's very strong on defense. They will always play very strong on defense. The offense kind of figure it out still, but I think defense will win this game. Yep, give me Florida. I think it's a clean sweep. Give me Florida all day long. Tyler, he's throwing out some hate here. Zach, this is also rivalry we can play out on screen. Quit hating on FSU. So there you go. Just jealous. All right. So Zach, what is your pick in this game?
Yeah, let me back up real quick. ACC is gonna be really tough next year, adding in whoever it is that's one SMU and all those schools. So we'll keep an eye on that for you, Tyler. But in the meantime, SEC back to Florida. I think Florida obviously is going to take this. As Preston said and Dustin said, Leary. I just lived in Raleigh. I went and saw him play. Not a fan of Leary at all at NC State. Definitely not. He is not an SEC quarterback with 5 interceptions. But I wasn't a Mertz believer at first. To be honest with you, I'm still wishy-washy on it. But I think he's stepping into his role. He's learning the offense. He's a transfer, so we've got to get that in there and capitalize on that. But I think our defense is going to capitalize on this game. I think we're going to step up defensively. I think we're going to continue to see some progress there. And then I think our offense is going to get it together. I think ETN and our running backs are going to do a phenomenal job. And so I'm going to go Florida by 10. I know that's a little close here, but I'm going to go by Florida by 10.
Yeah. Solid pick. All around. Gators 5. I think it's a good ball game here. Lot more, I guess. Better position than we thought we were. Not so much of a dumpster fire. I think the Gators came out and took care of them. So, all right. While we got you, Zach, let me get your thoughts on the pick of the week. Notre Dame versus Duke. Notre Dame coming out with a narrow loss against Ohio State, taking on the Duke Devils, who gave Clemson the shock loss in week 1. So give me your pick, Zach, real quick.
Yay. Again, being in that triangle area for the last 5 years, I spent a lot of time in Durham, spent a lot of time at Duke, and I'm going to ride this one home. Duke over Notre Dame.
Wow. Good pick. All right. Solid pick there, Zach. All right, bro. Well, thank you so much for jumping on with us, and we look forward to having you on again when the Gators line up against the Gamecocks. We'll have some awesome discussion then. A lot more personal comments there, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Very good. Hey, go Gators. Appreciate you, Zach. Have a good night, man.
Appreciate it, guys. See y'all. Go Gators.
All right, so you guys see our pick of the week. We'll get to that here later on. We have another guest picker for that pick coming up in just a second. But real quick, we're going to talk about number 13 LSU versus number 20 Ole Miss. All right. Ole Miss looked like they had a chance last week. Looked like they could put up against Alabama. Unfortunately, Alabama's second half just rolled and looked like they were just back to heavy defense, heavy run, and did a great job in the second half. Ole Miss just didn't take advantage of opportunities, and that's what happens. Same thing happened to us against Georgia. I think the same thing happens against them with Alabama. But now Ole Miss lines up against number 13 LSU. Preston, you got some skin in the game a little bit here. Number 13 LSU, how are they going to line up against Ole Miss?
So be honest with you, the only thing my wife said to me before I left the house tonight
Oh boy.
was you better pick LSU. Legit, she's like, you better pick LSU. So with that being said, I'm going with. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Oh boy.
No, listen. I believe this. I said this a couple weeks ago. I think LSU will probably win the West, and it's just because of the experience they have with Jaden Daniels. They're very talented in the wide receiver position with Malik Neighbors, I think his name is. I know his Neighbors. I don't know his first name, but I think they're a solid core team. I think they'll come out. I think Ole Miss is still trying to find their identity. Jackson Dart, he's a good quarterback, but he under pressure with Alabama, I think he really didn't perform well. And so I think LSU wins this game. They had a tough game against Arkansas. Arkansas, I think, is very underrated with KJ Jefferson. I mean, the dude's been around for like 10 years, I feel like. So he's a good quarterback. He's tall, he's fast, he's big. And it was a tough game. It was back and forth, but ultimately LSU has that it factor. And I think same thing this week. I think LSU comes out and wins this game. So LSU for me.
LSU. Logan.
Not because my wife said so, because
That's right.
I believe it.
Remember that. Logan.
I'm picking the same way. LSU. Jaden Daniels is having a pretty decent year. LSU did stumble a little bit against Arkansas. That came down to the wire. Thought they were going to lose that one and go to 2-2. It would have been real ugly, but I think they're going to start picking that momentum back up here against Ole Miss. Jackson Dart can't really stay in the pocket too long. He likes to run too much. Needs to stay in the pocket if they're going to win, but I don't think they do. Jaden Daniels and their running back are going to be too much for Ole Miss.
Good. Look at the conference. 2-0 for LSU. Ole Miss 0-1. They need this win. I think Ole Miss is going to come in hungry, want this game really, really bad. They're going to give LSU their best shot. LSU has shown that they are susceptible to big shots, to organized offense. But what I'll say is LSU's quarterback gives them the X factor. I'm going to take LSU in this game. I think they roll on, pick up some momentum. I see LSU as a top 10 team. I think they're a solid team. Not top 5, but top 10 for sure. So, Wilbur?
Yeah, I was coming in really looking at picking LSU. I like a lot of things about LSU. I think they're probably one of the better teams in the West. But right now, I'm kind of leaning towards Ole Miss right now. It's in Oxford. Jackson Dart, I think, is a really good quarterback. I think Lane Kiffin's going to have them bounce back. I think after a tough week against Alabama, they're going to really bring it. And it's in front of the home fans. I'm going to have them winning by a field goal. I'm taking Ole Miss because I need some separation from you guys. So
You got to take that risk.
I'm going to take the risk.
You gotta take that risk. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, solid. Hey, you got to try.
Got to try something, boys.
That's good. So separate yourself from the pack. All right, in just a second, we're going to get to our game of the week. Before we do that, we got to squeeze in one more pick here. We got to talk about the South Carolina Gamecocks versus the Tennessee Volunteers. And then next up, we're going to pick the Duke Notre Dame game. All right, so if you're still with us, do me a favor. If you're watching live here on Facebook, share this video. That way you get the word out. Make sure we get our game of the week here. Also, if you're on YouTube, man, share it with a neighbor, share it with a friend. Let people know that we're live on YouTube as well. And follow us on Twitter. But with that being said, let's run through this game real quick. I know we got some deep roots here in South Carolina versus Tennessee. Tennessee at night in their stadium, tough venue. Preston, what's your thoughts on this ball game? This is tough.
Man, it's hard for me to
Listen to your heart.
my heart. Yeah, I want Carolina to win. I think we have the better quarterback.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
we have the better special teams.
Okay.
I think our defense is not as good as Tennessee's. I think our running game is becoming better.
Yeah.
With Mario Anderson, shout out to him, played a heck of a game last week. Finally got something going for us on the ground. I think we have better players. I think we have more star-studded players than Tennessee does. You know, with Leggett and finally you got Trey Knox and I think Marion Brown should be back this week.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough pick. I think Beamer gets his team to bounce back in the secondary. I think our D-line is probably better than Tennessee's D-line. Our D-line has played very, very well. That's the only thing that allowed us to win last week with that forced fumble. Spalding forced that fumble on Rodgers III. That was really the turning point in the game. And then against Georgia, I mean, we sacked Carson Beck a couple times, you know, with Huntley and Spalding. And I think we have a pretty strong front core. We can rotate guys in and out and be pretty strong there. I don't know. I didn't pick Carolina against Georgia. And I feel bad for that, but obviously it was the right pick. I'm going to go Carolina. I think we take this game this week. I think it's one of those games that puts us on the radar. I think once we win this game, they'll be like, all right, well, Carolina's legit. They have a good quarterback. We have Leggett. Leggett's shot up the draft boards. You know, he's a top 5 wide receiver now. The dude ran over 22 miles an hour last week, which is faster than most NFL wide receivers. I mean, the dude hit that gap and was gone. I mean, he was 20 yards ahead of anybody. I mean, it was crazy how fast he was. I'm going to go Carolina. I'm going to say a field goal. 3-point spread. That's what I'll give us. So.
Yeah, I agree with Tyler. South Carolina needs this win.
Yeah,
I like that pick.
It's not a make or break, but it's
I mean,
it doesn't get easier from here.
Yeah,
so
you're battling Florida. You're battling Tennessee. Who's number 2?
Right.
And that's what we're fighting
if
for.
Florida that's where I stand. If Florida can beat Tennessee, I think so can we.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Okay, that's good logic.
So, even though it's at the Swamp.
Miss Gloria, you're breaking my heart here. Tennessee, come on, Miss Gloria. Come on. Give us some love here. All right. Wilbur.
This is a tough one. In Neyland at night, they're going to be wearing their blackout uniforms.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Just uniform.
It's gonna be crazy in Tennessee this weekend. Tennessee's gonna be looking to bounce back from Florida against another good opponent. They had an off week last week. A good bounce back game. They're gonna try to come back against a better opponent this week and play well.
I think we need to sing happy birthday to somebody today.
Happy birthday.
Whose birthday is it? Spencer Rattler.
It is Spencer Rattler's birthday.
Dude, weird
Hey,
realization.
hey.
Me and Spencer Rattler, same age.
Michael Jordan here.
Yeah, that's so weird.
You want to give a little happy birthday? Maybe he'll come on the show, right?
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Please
Happy
come on our show, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
And we love you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
Jordan here.
You just never know on the show.
Well,
That's great.
Back to
So,
my,
Will,
Sorry.
back to your pick.
back to my pick
Rude.
before I was rudely interrupted.
Spontaneous, I'll let.
I think this is battle head versus heart. Heart tells me Carolina can win any game we play for the rest of the season. I truly believe that. But my head tells me it's a win-win situation. If I don't pick them, I win. If we win, I win. If I pick Tennessee on the show and I get a win anyways. So I think for the integrity of the show, we really need to start being outside of the goggles and maybe not being so weighted towards Carolina. So I'm gonna take Tennessee this week against South Carolina. It's gonna be very close, maybe a touchdown, but I think Carolina can win, but I'm taking Tennessee.
Wow. Shots
Hey,
fired.
look at that comment. I like that comment.
I like that comment. Except for, Billy Holly, going back to Zach's comment, except for Rattler, quarterbacks in the ACC have been better than the SEC this year. Hey, light it up in the comments. Tell me what you think. I like it. Hey, Kathy Holly, she agrees with you, Will. Too much Carolina bias maybe in the show.
I hate to say it.
Listen, y'all all pick Georgia. That's fine. Shots fired. I get it. It's me.
I'm
It's me.
for the people. Let's go.
I'm like Travis Kelce. It's me. I'm the problem. It's
My
fine.
heart,
I get it.
my heart tells me we're gonna win, but for the show, I take Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to be wrong.
Okay. All right.
I'll be very happy to be wrong.
Shots fired. Logan. Listen.
I'll keep it going on if I want.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we did it last year. I think we can do it again this year. I know they're in Neyland. I mean, it's just uniforms with their blackouts. If we just got to go back to game tape, see what Florida did, see what they did right, see what they did wrong that allowed Tennessee to score and get some points against them. But I mean, Mario Anderson has stepped up last week.
Yes, sir.
Is now over 130 yards and our leading rusher.
I like it.
One big game. Only thing is our secondary has to prove that we can stop the pass. The running back hasn't scored a touchdown all year. We're in week 5 now. Spencer Rattler is a incredible quarterback, can do major things in this ball game like he did last year.
Make any throw.
Right. I mean, he can do anything. If we're getting to Marion Brown next or back on Saturday,
Yeah.
well, I think we win this game, no problem.
Sure.
It's supposed to rain in Tennessee, which is good because now we have a running back.
Yeah.
We can carry the ball and we don't have to stress about that. So I'm not taking the goggles off. I'm not keeping them on. This is picking with my head, not my heart.
Good.
Carolina.
Good pick. I like the pick. So we got Carolina,
Right.
Carolina, Tennessee. All right. Listen, this is a revenge game. We shocked the world last year. We let the offensive coordinator have a seat, and Spencer Rattler and whoever else called the plays. Who knows? It's still a mystery. Lit up Tennessee last year. Lit them up.
Scored over 70 points.
Ran out of fireworks.
Milton, the Tennessee's quarterback has a rocket of an arm. Like, total respect.
He's huge.
He's huge.
Who plays Hendon Hooker last year?
Yeah, for sure.
No.
Yeah, throw him into the midst of the fire. An away game at Tennessee. They messed up Marcus Lattimore's ACL. Like, I'll never forget that game.
Tennessee fans are classless though.
Whoa.
They
Whoa.
on
I
all
have family now.
all social media I've seen is them posting pictures of Marcus Lattimore saying Leggett and Spencer Rattler next. And if
Wow.
you did that, you're a terrible person.
It
That
sounds like you get Carolina Bowls on right now.
Well, no.
I'm a Carolina fan.
It is.
but,
It is.
hey,
Now listen, I think it's gonna be a good ball game. I think weather could it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. It is what it is. I think Spencer Rattler is that dude. I think he's the guy that's gonna get you a ball game. This is make or break for South Carolina. This is make or break for our season. Let's just be honest. If we're gonna be a legitimate team, this is the game. If we had Juice Wells, it'd be no brainer Gamecocks, because that dude just gives you that X factor. But give me the Gamecocks. I'm going with the Gamecocks with this pick. A little bit of heart, a little bit of head. I think we will surprise Tennessee, and I kind of like Preston's logic. If Florida can do it, so can we. I mean, that'll be our going off of, okay? All right, now it is time for the game of the week, all right? We are getting to the Duke game. We got some comments in the second that really want us to get to this game. Duke and Notre Dame, who would have thought in 2023 this would be the game of the week?
not me.
Not me at all. But man, so surprised by this pick. Guys, remember we have one guest picker. Now tonight we have our second guest picker, none other than the Josh Evans.
Yes, sir.
Josh, what is up, my friend?
That's my old professor.
What's up? What's up, guys? Thank you guys for having me tonight.
This class is one of the few I actually went to before the
Don't ask Logan. No. Josh, we know you're a diehard Duke fan, but introduce yourself. Let us know your occupation. Give us a fun story about your son to prove that you are a diehard Duke fan.
All right, so I grew up in a household full of NC State fans, and they were never winning as a kid. So my parents said that I started pulling for Duke as a kid when I was about 5 years old, because that's when they were winning. And so I've always been a diehard fan of Duke ever since I was a child, and been all in on it. And currently I serve as a pastor of a church, and we're right now on a father-son camping trip. So I am outside under a pavilion. We're camping, and so I appreciate you guys having me and all that kind of stuff. But I will say just about Duke.
That's good stuff.
Your ratings are going to go through the roof with this, but But hey, I will tell you this one thing. My son, this is how diehard of a fan. A lot of pastors name their kids after Bible characters,
Sure.
but not this guy. I named my kid after Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Amen.
So just to show you a little bit of our fandom, this is Cam right here. And so, yeah, man, appreciate you guys having me tonight.
Awesome, man. Thanks for jumping in. I know you're right in the middle of pastor duties there, but appreciate you jumping in with us. Man, the funniest Cameron memories I remember is when he was like really little. He was a daredevil. I'm assuming he still is. He was in a diaper and he would literally roll off their couch and like do a front flip, and like it was crazy. Like it was insane. He could barely walk, but he was doing front flips.
He's broke 4 bones.
Yeah.
He's had teeth. He's had teeth having to get pulled because he flipped on a trampoline and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, he's a daredevil, all into sports, all boy, and so yeah, man.
Gotta love it, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we are gonna dive into this. Like, did you see this Duke team coming along like this, Josh?
I would be foolish if I said yes. Nobody did.
I think
So,
Duke and North
no,
Carolina
it's-
surprised everybody so far.
Right.
Well, I
Quarterback.
mean, I think, isn't it, a lot of the Blue Bloods are still undefeated. You got Kentucky's undefeated. You got Kansas is undefeated. Duke's undefeated. And Carolina's undefeated. And there's a lot of people, you know, that I think are just shocked by that. So, no, I didn't see this coming. I listened to a lot of Duke football podcasts and stuff like that. None of those guys saw it coming, although we did have a successful year last year. Which surprised a lot of people. But we never thought we would do this schedule that we have this year.
Sure. Oh yeah, no doubt. There's some love and there's some hate in our comment section here. We got one guy that says Duke is trash, so I'm assuming he has some diehard Tar Heel blood in him, possibly. Then we got Miss Gloria picking Notre Dame for this game, and then we got down here Miss Kathy Holly, who is a diehard Clemson fan, going with the Blue Devils of Duke. So nice picks there.
Well, I can't see who the comments are. So the Duke is trash. You know, that is what it is.
Out,
yeah, you know, if it wasn't for just some cheap chop block at the end of a game last year, we would have beat Carolina anyway. So you know.
True story, man. That's college football. You gotta hate it, man. All right, moving right along. We got a really crazy game here. Notre Dame Duke. Who's the real McCoy? Who's the real team here? Preston, let's go to you, and then Josh, you'll be our closer.
I still think Notre Dame is a solid team. I think they should have won that game last week. It breaks my heart to see Notre Dame to put on a good game and to go up by 10 points and then let Ohio State come back and win this game. I mean, there was like 10 seconds left in the game. They had like 50 yards to go, and Ohio State managed it. I mean, they threw that ball to the 1 yard line, got down there to spike the ball, and then they ran it in for the touchdown and finished the game off. So I feel bad. I think Sam Hartman's a great quarterback. I think he's a Heisman top 5 candidate right now. ESPN says 70% towards Notre Dame. I do like Duke and what they're doing. I like Riley Leonard. I think he's a great quarterback. Where did he come from? He transferred from somewhere, right? Or was that Duke's commitment?
I think he's a freshman. I think he's a Duke commit.
He's a commit?
He's a Duke.
Where did Leonard come from?
Duke commitment.
Duke commitment.
He's a
Very
Duke
nice.
commitment.
That's a solid commitment. I mean, wow, that's impressive. I like this matchup. I think Notre Dame has a lot of high-profile players, though, and I think it's going to come down to talent. If Duke can get on the field like they did against Clemson, force some turnovers, I think Duke can win this game. I think it's very possible. But for me, I'm going to have to stick with Notre Dame. I think they're the better team at this point. But I think, I'm a Duke Blue Devil basketball fan for sure. So I've always liked Coach K. I love the teams that have come up, big JJ fan and Jason Williams and the Boozers and all those guys have come through there, and Kyrie. They've always been, Duke has put a lot of great basketball players out there. So to see them do well in football is really cool. So, but I got to stick with Notre Dame for this pick. So.
Tough. Will, I think there's no surprise for you. Basketball, Duke is not your team.
No. My dad's a big North Carolina Tar Heel fan. We actually weren't allowed to say the word Duke in my house. That was considered a cuss word. If you saw that, you got whooped. And so we called it a 4-letter word in our house. And everybody knew what the 4-letter word was. So, as much as I love Josh Evans.
Oh, man.
And I would love to go with him on this pick. I can't go against my dad, and I can't go against logic. Notre Dame's the better team. I love Ryan Leonard. I love the 4-letter word. And I think they're going to have a great season after this game. I think Notre Dame's probably going to win by 14. I think the running the ball is going to be really good. Sam Hartman's going to pass it. And that's not saying that Duke, the 4-letter word, sorry, Dad. That's not saying they're not going to score. I just think Notre Dame defensively is going to be better to get a couple stops, and they're going to score a lot. So I'll probably go Notre Dame somewhere in the 30s to 4-letter word somewhere in the 20s, probably something like that.
There you go. All right, solid pick. Now listen, I got 3 cousins who all 3 went to North Carolina Chapel Hill. So I know the whole can't say the dirty 4-letter word. I get that for sure. Logan, thoughts on this ball game?
I think it's not going to be that close of a game. Riley Leonard only has 2 touchdowns on the year, and we're week 5. That's not very good for a quarterback. He is a good quarterback. He's a good multi-track quarterback. He's able to beat Clemson.
The running back has 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was my next point. So their running back is their core of their offense. He has 7 touchdowns, but only 258 yards. So and Notre Dame's only allowing a little bit over 100 yards.
Hey, Derek, did we lose it?
Backup plan. We're going live right here. So you got me, Wano, Mono, Imano. All right. So Logan, continue your thoughts here.
Sorry about that, technical difficulties. So I think Notre Dame's just got it in the bag. Sam Hartman's a really good quarterback. They should be 5-0 right now. If it wasn't for a 3rd and 19 play to the 1-yard line to Ohio State. Sorry, Josh. Notre Dame's got this one.
Oh, painful pick. All right, back to me. Listen, Notre Dame, no love lost. They took care of us in the bowl game. All right, it was the people that beat Clemson bowl game, and we did not show up. We did not take care of business. Half of our players had already transferred out, but they brought back their quarterback. I think Notre Dame's bread and butter is their quarterback. Duke has been scrappy. They have found a way to win. They run the ball well. So the question is, what's going to happen early on in the game? If Notre Dame gets up 14-0, it's not looking good for the Blue Devils. But if Duke can keep this game close, if they can keep it within a touchdown and maintain the clock, be able to run the ball out and play solid defense, I believe Duke can win this ball game. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm picking Duke. I'm going with Duke. I am ruling out Notre Dame. I think, once again, Notre Dame's overhyped, out of a conference, doesn't belong in the top 4 conversation. So my hope and my pick is Duke will win this ball game.
Wow. So
Yeah.
is it me
Josh,
now? Am I
What's
up?
your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts on this pick?
Well, listen, let me just say this, that it's absolutely crazy that we're at a point like this where Duke will be hosting College Game Day for the first time ever. We never thought that would be there in the football program. You know, we are a basketball school. I think every Duke fan knows that. Most Duke fans follow the basketball program. They don't follow football. I will say I do follow football, have for years. And so I've sat through the rough years of Duke football, went through the Cutcliffe era, where he kind of really took us far. And I mean, so much to the point where we, made ACC championship game, 6 out of 7 bowl games, and which is huge for Duke fans, because you guys in the SEC world, y'all understand that. But for us, that's a big deal. But Elko came in last year. We were at rock bottom. He won 9 games in his first year. 9 games.
That's
His record is 13-4 since coming to Duke. And I'll tell you this, Notre Dame has not lost to an ACC opponent in the regular season since 2017. Both teams have a decent defense. Duke is ranked nationally like number 4, I believe, defensively. Notre Dame's like number 15. Both are averaging 35 points plus a game as well. And so it's going to be a tale of which one wins out on that. Duke had really, I mean, we played Clemson, but Clemson's not who everybody thought they were coming into the year. So that win was, although huge for us, at the end of the day, I think the Notre Dame win will be a bigger win than Clemson because I think Notre Dame is a better team than Clemson is. Everything that I read picks Notre Dame, man. I mean, that's just what I think it makes sense. It's probably, I wouldn't be shocked if that's what's going to happen. Sam Hartman, great quarterback. I believe in Riley Leonard. I really do. I know he maybe hasn't shown the success that we hope for, but Jaquez Moore, Waters, those guys can run the ball, and I'm thinking that that's going to be our plan of attack. And listen, everything on my head says Notre Dame's going to win this game, but I'll tell you this: I believe in Mike Elko. I think this is the biggest game Duke has been in. In fact, I think it's the first time where Duke and another is hosting where both teams are ranked in the top 20 since 1960. Okay.
Good.
This is a huge game. It's sold out, prime time, ABC, 7:30 Saturday night. It's going to be massive. But I'll just tell you this: I'm not betting against Mike Elko in Durham. I think he's out to prove something. I think Duke's going to come in focused. I will say I kind of wish that Notre Dame had to beat Ohio State last week. I know it went down to the last second because I feel like we could have caught them a little easier if they were coming in undefeated. They're coming off a loss, and normally good teams coming off a loss are going to come in extra focused. So I kind of, I get all the Notre Dame picks. I understand it. But listen, I'm going with Mike Elko. I'm going with Duke. 27 to 24. I don't think it's going to be as high of a scoring game as some people think. I mean, Notre Dame might run away with it, but I'm going Duke 27-24 in a close game. I'm going with Mike Elko in this one, man.
I like it. 27-24 Duke.
Yes,
solid
sir.
pick, Josh. Listen,
we'll see.
Here's why I like Duke a lot. They share a really good coach in common with South Carolina, Steve Spurrier.
Yep.
Look at that.
You know,
man.
I will say this.
Man,
I will say I was kind of rooting for him to be the game day guest picker. Because I felt like when you look, I didn't want it to be anybody related to the basketball program because I feel like this is about football. And I think putting a basketball guy, like a lot of people are saying, why don't Coach K come in and be the guest picker on game day? Why doesn't JJ Redick, people like that?
Why not Cameron?
Yeah, right. But here's the thing is this is about football. This is about what Mike Elko is building at Duke. And it's about football. And here's the thing. The list of football guys that Duke has produced is low. So it was like Steve Spurrier, Daniel Jones, which he is struggling this year in the NFL. It was going to be one of those two guys. And so they ended up going. They announced it today. And this is kind of funny to me, but they went with Ken Jeong or whatever. He's a comedian and actor who graduated from Duke. Famous actor, goes to most all basketball games. He's always there. And so they went with him, which that's a fair pick. And so he'll be doing the guest picking. So, but yeah, man, go Steve Spurrier. I was kind of hoping he would be the guy, but.
Yeah, no, that's cool, dude. Well, Josh, man, thank you so much for enlightening us with some Duke knowledge. I'm cheering for the Blue Devils. I'm hoping they'll make some magic happen this Saturday and get the job done. So congratulations on college game day. That's a big thing. That's a big win. It's a big thing for recruiting nowadays, so that's a good deal.
Yep. Hey, man, we're excited. Thank you guys for having me. I apologize for all the craziness in the background, and it is what it is, man. We're here at a campground right now, and so we're having a blast. I'm glad I could jump on with you guys this evening.
Good, man. Hey, tell your friends. Make sure they follow us. Let them know about our show.
Hey, your views went up tonight. Some of them, they liked your page, and here we are.
Fantastic, Josh. Man, y'all have a great night. Be safe and have fun, all right?
All right, yes, sir, man. We'll see you guys later. Go Duke.
See y'all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes our show today. Let me get all the boys in here real tight. I mean, we're going to get in here close. Hey, thank you. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for holding on. We even went through technical difficulties. Make sure you share this video. You will not get a college pick'em show like this one ever.
Nobody's gonna sing happy.
Nobody's
birthday to
singing
Spencer
happy
Rattler.
birthday to Spencer Rattler. Not happening. You won't find it.
Spencer owes us for that one.
Make
He
sure you
does.
tag Spencer Rattler.
If you know Spencer Rattler,
Twitter.
get it done.
If you know Mario Anderson,
If you know Will Bryant,
share this video.
Xavier Leggett. Hey,
you don't know.
Shane Beamer.
Shane Beamer.
Let's bring him on.
All right.
Come on.
Hey, y'all are the bomb. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your neighbors. But I don't know. That's all I got. Y'all be good. See y'all later. Have a good night.
See y'all next week.
Bye.